Hey, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Bird Brain 66, our video podcast. I'm Brian Bretsch, and he's
Andy T.
Andy Teague. Hey, everybody. If you haven't been watching us lately, Andy and I have known each other for as long as we can remember, dating back to like 5 years old, 6 years old, went to grade school, high school, junior high, all that sort of jazz together. And we're just here to have some fun talking about Cardinal baseball cards. And today we are going to talk about the very interesting, and Andy will fill you in on that in just a second, the 1975 SSPC, or the Sports Stars Publishing Company's 630 card set. 25 Cardinals in this set. But Andy, tell us a little bit about why this particular oddball set is one that every Cardinal card collector should have in their collection.
Well, one reason you're going to get a lot of Cardinals that you may have never heard of or never seen before, and they're not represented on any other card in any other set anywhere because Topps was the primary card company of the day. And so your opportunity to get these guys is a pretty relative discount right now as far as this set's concerned. It's modeled after kind of the 53 Bowman set.
Right.
Not the greatest of pictures in the world, and that might be due to the fact that it's alleged that these pictures were taken by a bat boy. Don't know if that's an accurate story or not, but it looks like that could be true based on some of the pictures of the players. A lot of cool cards in the whole set, and for collectors of all teams. And one I happened to notice from the Royals, which I thought was really cool, and I just mentioned that real quick, was George Brett and Harmon Killebrew, because that's the only it's the only set that has Killebrew in a Royals uniform on it. So I thought that was a really cool addition to the set. But I digress on that and move back to the Cardinals. Lots of cool pictures here. I still think they're cool. A lot of them it seems like they're taken in the evening. If you look at the night sky for a lot of them, not all of them, but look at the Mad Hungarian. Looks like it is getting ready to set with the Fu Manchu. So you gotta love Al in that picture. Great.
Ken Rudolph, same thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and then the great Bob Force, of course. It's looked like they might have just taken these pictures all at the same time of night. Whenever this actually took place, didn't obviously probably not a professional photographer. Maybe it was. Who knows? But a lot of the photos are kind of a little bit grainy, maybe some out of focus. Looking at a number of them, and it can never go wrong if you get red Shandies in any set.
Right.
You gotta love red. So always happy to see him pop up wherever he might be. So what's some of your favorites out of this particular set?
Well, I just crack up going just back to a second ago when you said the photography. I like, on many of these guys, the top of their caps are cut off.
Yeah.
That cracks me up. But there's some really good players in here. I like how you said that there's guys in here that you never, even heard about. So we've talked a million times about the dirty caps now, and they didn't even take the time to do that. There's Don Kessinger when he was traded from the Cubs to the Cardinals. There's Vic Harris, who I never even knew played for the Cardinals. So he may have just come over during spring training, not make it with the club, either release or they just, traded him right out of the gate. I've heard of Vic Harris. I know that he played with the Giants for a number of years as well as the Cubs, but I didn't realize that he ever played for the Cardinals. And here's another one that we were talking about, guys I never even heard of in a White Sox uniform, Lee Richard, infield outfielder. So again, never heard of him. We've talked about players with goofy faces. Here's Richard Billings, probably went by Dick Billings. What he was thinking when they took his pictures beyond me. But
also cool hairdos. John Denny, there you go. I mean, you got to love a Disco Inferno going on there.
Right, exactly.
Back in the day.
And when you were talking about photographers, I would venture to guess if it wasn't a bat boy, these were definitely not taken by a professional photographer. I've been in newspapers a lot of my life and in public relations. Nice.
Always loved the Simba card. Anything he's on, cool looking card there.
Got the long hair going too.
It's probably one of the longest hair photos that he has on any baseball card that I can recall of. So that's a massive do on Ted there. So really,
We talked about, you got all the, some of the great close-ups and the great photos, and I'll let you transition to our favorite card after this one. But I wish they would have given Lou a little bit more love there. That's kind of like, hey Lou, we're going to take your picture, and he just kind of like, what? And then they snap the photo. It's like, come on, man. There's a guy that's going to be the future Hall of Famer, and he's at the tail end of his career going into the 75, 76.
It's almost like awkward family photos in a way, With you,
yeah.
This.
Well, either that, or what this really reminds me of, the old Polaroid cameras where you'd click the button and the picture would come out, and then they would turn them in. Hey, before we show our favorite card of two players on one, which we like, tell a little bit about, because we didn't go into this, and it may have been me kind of cutting you off, but did you say that this SSPC collection was kind of like an offshoot of the TCMA company? How did that all come about?
I don't really know how that came about, but I know that there's a lawsuit that came about after this came out, and they could not produce another set after this came out. But not sure if it was actually, I think, looking at it, at this checklist card, I think it was some kind of subscription that looked like you had to get this, to pick these cards up. Or I don't know exactly how you would got these things, but it's very interesting.
Got some great stats on the back too. So whoever put the cards together, did a good job in terms of the statistics and stuff. Yeah, it's just the photography.
It's alleged that Keith Olbermann actually did the backs of these cards, or edited the backs of these cards. So when he was in high school, so 17 years old apparently when he did that. So very cool. The history on that. Became a ESPN anchor down the road. So yeah, this is really cool set, and it's a really reasonably priced for the time frame.
Right. I think you could buy the whole set for like the whole 630 card set for like $10, if I recall. If it was maybe a buck or two less or a buck or two more, but
yeah.
There's some great players in here too. I forgot to pull this one out of my sheet, but we've always been a Reggie Smith fan. That's a great. Out of some of the pictures, this one really stands out. That whoever took it, again, if it was Keith, that was a great job. So
Bake McBride.
Love Bake McBride.
One of my favorites from back in the day too.
Yep. And then I know I showed. Wait, let me show this one again. When we're talking about what were they thinking? Like your great family photos. There's this one. There's one of Lynn McLaughlin, and even Bake McBride looks like he might even have some chaw in his mouth. So again, you said it earlier, but it almost looks like these guys were, in some instances, were just taken by surprise when was approached to take the photo. And I guess the last thing before we show you are both of our favorite cards in this entire set and why it's such a cool one. In just a second, why you want to have it. So if the alleged theory is true, where it was a bat boy, that took these photos, can you imagine that had to go on with all the other major league teams at the time? And you had mentioned Brett and Killebrew together on the Royals card together. I did see a photo. I don't have the card in my collection, never had it in my collection, but the talk about a really crappy photo, I wish I could show it to you, is the one of George Brett. That card of him looks like he it's backlit. He looks like he's a shadow of himself. It's just an odd photo of such a great superstar player. So, but anyway, I'll do the drum roll and I'll let you share the honors of our favorite card. And this is why everybody will want to have either this card or the entire card, the entire set in your collection.
Yeah, it's the Lou Brock, Keith Hernandez card. And it's actually a checklist card. So, but notice Keith's uniform number, not the one he is best known for with the Cardinals. Well, I think, is this the only one with 18 on, or is there another?
If I looked at, I tried looking at, back through some of the cards. Now his 75 Topps rookie card, there's the checklist there. So the 75 rookie card, remember, it's that one where it's 4 different players on one card. So it's really just a head and shoulder shot of him. So you never really do get to see that. But, it's also odd about him, wearing 18 at the time is, all ball players when they were coming up, I just always remember, they were in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So for him to be wearing 18 in 1975, it's obvious that, they knew he was going to be a part of the big league club coming out of spring training. And then,
And
whenever
what famous Cardinal had that number before him?
Well, hold on one second. I was going to say, though, he transitioned, transitioned over to, 37, 18 was a cool number, 37. Not sure why he switched from that to that. So I'm trying to think of who to answer your question. I'm looking at pretending like I'm at Busch Stadium now, trying to go down the numbers to see. I don't know. I'll just for the sake of speed, I'll play uncle and say I don't know the answer.
Mike Shannon.
Oh, yes.
I thought you had that one for sure. I was throwing you a softball on that one. I was like, he's got the easy.
No, that's a big swing and a miss for me, man. Normally I know all these things. I don't know, caught me off guard. Maybe it's just from all the heat and humidity from today's lovely St. Louis weather. But anyway, no, I like this again because it's an oddball set. 25, 26 cards in the Cardinals set. Got, like you were saying at the top of the show, guys you've never heard of before. I don't know if I showed this one earlier. Now, I know Mike Anderson played several years for the Cardinals, and I know that I have him actually in a Cardinals uniform, but I think that's pretty cool. And then here, I'm going to have one more little bit of fun with you here. Another one of my favorites in this set. And don't tell me, I have no rhyme or reason why it is. Harry Rasmussen, because Harry played for like a season. He was Harry, then he was Eric, and then he went back to Harry, or
that's right,
Eric, Harry, and then Eric, and it's like that always cracked me up because some of his cards I have in my collection say Eric Rasmussen, and some of them say Harry, so that one always just stands out to me. But anyway, I like having this one in my set. It's, especially like we talked about, this is such a centerpiece on, the Cardinals, two great Cardinal Hall of Famers right there. Again, Hernandez wearing 18 is cool to me. So I just recommend that either you have that dual card of those two, or you collect I've got it down as 25 cards in the set. I don't know what you have as it, but that's what I've got.
Whatever team you collect, go out and get the set from this particular large scale set here. I mean, it's a lot of cards, and if a bad boy took all these pictures, I'm impressed because it's a lot. That's a lot of photos, and obviously that might be the reason why that it's kind of like you said, the old Polaroid days. You get one shot and that's it, and it's one shot, one take, and done, and then that's what you had to go with because the expense of the film.
Yeah, and that's why I think that's it. With, hey Lou, we want to take your picture, and he goes, "What?" Sorry, I just keep saying that, but that's what that photo of him reminds me of. Hey, nobody let him know that there was going to be a photographer around. And the good news is, I don't think I've ever seen Lou not smiling. So at least when he turned around, he was smiling. But yeah, there's some odd photos in here. But yeah, if the theory, like you said, is true with the bat boy taking the pictures, it's still pretty cool. So. On that note, I think we can get ready to wrap up, unless there's anybody else you want to point out real quickly before we wrap it up.
No, I picked out the ones I really liked out of there. So there's enough cards in there to check out for anybody that is interested in this particular set. But thanks for everybody for joining us, and I'll let Brian close this one out.
All right. Hey, again, as Andy says, thank you everyone for watching. You can find us on Twitter at birdbrains66. That's our handle. You can find us on Facebook, birdbrain66. And of course, this is our YouTube channel, birdbrain66. So we hope that you not only, watch these videos, you subscribe to it. It's still free for a while. And follow us. And the other thing I forgot to mention is if there's a card like this that you want us to showcase or do on our random Cardinal card of the day on Twitter and on Facebook, let us know about that, and we'll definitely feature that. So on that note, I'm Brian Bretsch. He's Andy Teague. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.